During the 61-point exercise, the idea is to bring attention to one point at a time of 61 points. If you go outside at night and you look up into a night sky, you'll see that there are two colors of stars. There are white stars and there are blue stars. The blue stars are just a little more bluish than the white stars. That blue point of blue light is the focus. But I don't visualize very well. I don't know if there's anybody else here who doesn't visualize very well, but I can try all day long and I won't see a blue star for more than a moment, and I don't hold on to it very well. But I'm very good at perceiving the feeling of a point of energy. So it's a point of energy or a point of light, and once you've nurtured it a little bit through a few chakras, or through a few points, usually it's not too hard to just then come back to that image and keep it moving along from point to point. So that's the basic idea. It does take a little bit of visualization or imagination to initially get the point, whether it's energy or light, and then just stay with that image or feeling. So, virtually everyone who's studied even a little bit of yoga has a concept of the word chakra. A chakra is a place where lines of energy intersect, or better yet, it's the hub out of which those lines of energy spread. So a chakra is a core hub. The word chakra is related to the English word circle. It's the hub of a wheel out of which these lines of energy spread. So we think of chakras as the big circuses in the body, and we don't think about much other than that. But there are other points in the body, and those other points of the body, though they're lesser points, they are still hubs of energy. And they are called marma sthanas. Marma, M-A-R-M-A, marma sthana, S-T-H-A-N-A. A marma sthana is a place of energy. So each of these other points are points of energy, whether they're in the elbow, the shoulder, the wrist, or wherever it is that we've pointed to. They are also places of intersecting energy, and they are also the hub of energy moving out. So because of that ability, because of that hub-like nature, this is a very flexible thing. If there were no hubs of energy in this thing, it would all be locked into place. You'd have a very safe arm, but you wouldn't be able to do anything with it, because there would be no manipulation, no fluidity to these joints. So each of these points is a marma sthana, and some of the points are chakras. So the major chakras are always in the spinal column. And when you're working through all of these points, the idea is to bring your attention to the core of that circular energy. So core of the elbow, core of the shoulder, core of the wrist. And in that way you move from energy center to energy center. Some of those places during the 61-point exercise may reveal themselves as places of dysfunction. So the idea of bringing your mind and your breath to each of these places is to bring back function to a place of dysfunction. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about how you might do that more consciously. But for now, we're thinking to do it by simply bringing our attention and bringing the prana that's inherent in breathing to each of these points, and let that breath and awareness spread out from those points of energy to their domain, you could say. So there is a domain of the elbow. The domain of the elbow goes up here, someplace short of the shoulder and someplace above the wrist. And the domain of the wrist is below that domain, and the domain of the shoulder is above this one. So each of those domains needs an element of harmony brought to it. That's what happens in the 61-point exercise. There are actually 108 marmasthanas. Something over 30 of them are in the head. But if I said to you, go to marma sthana point 23 in the head, none of us would know where to go. The best we can do is to find one point, and that one point sort of entails all of the others. The chakras, or the sub-chakras, you could say, above the eyebrow center, become less and less perceivable. Because the higher one goes above awareness, the less is normal human mental awareness involved in it. So, we may say that we have a crown chakra, but what in the world we mean by that when we say it, we're not so certain, because it's beyond awareness. So there is a degree to which we are cultivating more subtle awareness to go above the eyebrow center. But for now, it's just good to start there.